Some of you might remember when people over at MySpace were herded to Facebook. Do you remember that? So now's a great time to think about what's being labeled as TikTok refugees. If TikTok was fine and dandy, right, most of those kids probably wouldn't sign up for Red Note otherwise. But they sure as shit are now, which is creating a faction of people aligning themselves with quote-unquote China. China is one of many corporations, as is America. You can look this shit up. Most people probably won't. Just the same. What I want you to appreciate is our masters aren't terribly clever, but their methods are working. Our masters aren't terribly clever, but their methods are effective, is what I'm trying to spit out. I'm making spaghetti and I need to eat. That's my excuse as usual. Yeah. So what I'm driving at is, this is the same song and dance. Do you remember 9/11 leading to the Patriot Act? Do you remember the Patriot Act about to expire with the Obama administration? But the Obama administration not only extended it, they renewed it. Which means what? Fewer civil liberties. It's one example. Another example I can't talk about by name, but 2020 might ring a bell with you. And that enduring agenda is still alive and well. People didn't look into it. Point being, there are still people who believe in that don't know what the fuck a micron is. Or how many microns constitute a you-know-what. Or whether or not that might just slip right through the facial diaper. Because people don't look into things, they buy into things. They play follow the fucking leader in lockstep. Like a bunch of lemmings off a cliff. So here's another point, and this isn't going to come up because people aren't thinking for themselves. Otherwise, you would have heard this long before tonight. If you've ever thought about, Germany and some of those negative connotations with Germany, one of those things that was echoed long ago was get them young. I pity every single kid who has been born into this, realm. We're but part of a world, mind you, and I'm not talking about the flat earth or the globe theory. Both of those are our master's outlines. But I pity anybody who's been born into and raised with social media. It's the DARPA internet for a reason. Social media is free for a reason because it's social engineering platforms. And these are quite literally what are roping people in and indoctrinating entire generations into repeating the propaganda verbatim. Dogmatically repeating the nonsense. Because it's quite literally in place to get them young. And it's working. It's working. Most people out there, they lack any and all creative thinking skills. They can't sort shit out. They're slower than ever before. And more gullible than ever before as well. Usually I'll say good people tend to be gullible, but Jesus Christ. Things like literal humor has done away with sarcasm. I've interacted with one too many people and they can't spot fucking sarcasm. On the internet or in real life, mind you. Sometimes they'll give me a funny look in real life. And I'll still have to tell these younger kids, I'm mocking you. I'm openly mocking you right now. And you don't have a clue, right? And most of them don't. And I can tell them that to their face, and some of them still think, you're joking, right? Everything's entertainment, right? Positive vibes? They don't get it. It's terrifying. Either way. These are things that should come up because these are the same methods. People are being herded at the moment. They're doing exactly what our masters want them to do. And they're not questioning any of this or why it's taking place to begin with. I left this online the other night. What's taking place right now is paving the way for, an official narrative, which promotes World War III, for one. It also promotes all of the horseshit communist propaganda, for two. Red Note. You ever heard the expression better dead than red? Having to do with communism. All communism is fascism. Anything that ends with ism is fascism, including democracy, and most people haven't figured that much out. I rattle this shit off as canned responses often. Most people don't see the videos, let alone think about them when they do. And how many of you are too chicken shit to do the right fucking thing and challenge others in real life and on the internet? Most of you wouldn't do that. Even if you did know what you were talking about. Every single kid that has just reacted, and don't believe me, you can jump on TikTok and watch how many people are talking about, oh, well, I migrated, I'm doing this, I'm going to learn Mandarin. I don't frown on learning foreign languages and what have you, but this shit is fucking orchestrated, and most people can't, they can't tell that the shit stinks and it's in the same room as them. It's on their feet. It's on their shoe wear. Horrible way to put it. People have no idea what's going on because they don't mean to. They're just playing follow the fucking leader. What the fuck do I know?